Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mount Carmel Area High School Red Tornado football. Tonight, the Red Tornadoes have traveled to Bangor, Pennsylvania, in Bangor Park Field, where they will take on the Pius X Royals to open up the 2002 football season here for the Red. A big meeting for us, the second time we've played the Royals. We played them at home last year, and of course, you all remember the outcome of that game where Mount Carmel had suffered the rarest of all rare moments, losing not only their opening game, but their opening game at home, and that does not happen very often, Wayne.
Oh, definitely not, and I'm telling you what, these kids have to remember that, and they're coming out fired up. You see them out there in the end zone, getting all primed, ready to come down the sidelines for the kickoff here. And I'm sure for the last 2 weeks, this game has definitely been on their mind. You know, these kids take one game at a time, and certainly the game from last year is the one that sticks.
Pius X last year, of course, with their all-state running back, Eric Rath, and he left a few cleat marks on us as that game progressed. Of course, that game canceled from Friday night, played on a Saturday afternoon at the Silver Bowl, and just was the beginning of what was a tough first half of the season for the Red Tornadoes. The Red come into this game, the unanimous pick in Double-A in Pennsylvania, and that is, I mean, unanimous from all sources to go all the way to Hershey. They're certainly stacked. They're ready to go. A lot of talent back here. Of course, it all centers around number 8. That's Mr. Shinsky at quarterback. How they go will be how he goes. He'll dictate the tempo of a game. We have some new running backs that will be playing. Dave Brown, of course, is not a new guy. He'll be playing more into the backfield, as we saw at the end of last season. He'll be the regular fullback, and you want to watch the number change for him as his number has changed to number 39, and that reflects the fact that he will be in the backfield so often, unlike last year. So he's one guy you want to watch as the fullback. In the other side of that, you're going to see Mark Kowaleski probably start the game. He will start at that tailback position, and he brings a lot of talent and speed to that position. We're looking forward to seeing him showcase his talents here as they begin the 2001 season. On the other side of the ball, a lot of new faces on the Royal side. They had been hit hard by graduation last year. Of course, they went all the way last year to the Eastern Finals, where Southern Columbia beat them. And Southern, of course, going on to the state finals. So they went deep into the playoffs, and that always is a good thing for a team going deep the year before, and they come into this year. So they've also stocked themselves up with some transfer students, which is their way. They have always done that, and that's the reason that no one around here will play them. So.
Well, one of the things that, you know, you get into that playoffs and you get down to the Eastern Finals, that's 4 extra games that you're playing in a season. We've learned how well that progresses to the following year over the last, you know, since 1993, 94.
We'll take a moment here for the national anthem. All right, it's football time here at Wayne. Bangor Park, of course, new to us. Beautiful facility.
Oh,
absolutely.
You look at what they have here. This is a nice park with the red target track. We'd like to have that red track down around our stadium. And, you know, I mean, we have a black one, but I'll tell you what, the red really makes it show up pretty nice. But this whole facility is a very nice complex.
Of course, this is not... This is not the Pius Tents home field. They are actually located in Rosetta, which is a small town just south of here, Bangor. We passed the turnoff for that. As we come in, their stadium, no seating on the visiting side at all. And we had asked them, of course, if they do play some of their home games here, if they could schedule us. And that's what brings us to a Saturday night, because Bangor High School plays here on Friday nights. So all in all, just a great field, great weather. It's absolutely beautiful weather for the beginning of the season. Not very hot like we had seen throughout the summer, so it's going to be a comfortable evening for everybody. It's probably in the low 70s right now, and it'll probably be in the 60s before the end of the game. Mount Carmel area will kick off to start the 2001-2002 campaign, and we'll get this thing rolling very shortly. Again, high hopes for Big Red. Shinsky will do the kickoff duties for us. He also do the punting duties, so he has a lot on his shoulders here as this season is going to progress. This is a real litmus test, I think, for Big Red, of course, after what happened last year. And this is a quality program. Their schedule is just murderous as they play all over the state, mostly in the West. And they go to Brooklyn, and they go, I believe, to Delaware. So here it is as Shinsky kicks it off. He gets it down there to, I don't know who got it down.
Number 31.
Number 31, who's not on my thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Melvin Stewart. Fumble on the play, and the Red Tornadoes have recovered the opening kickoff as Stewart fumbles the ball. He was up around his 20-yard line when the ball popped loose, and the Red Tornadoes' first break of the season, and they'll take over 1st and 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was just ready to get the defensive lineup all straightened out here. Now we got we have to come back with the offense, and again, the big man, the quarterback here, Dave Shinsky taking over.
Shinsky opens up in the I formation. He's got Brown in front of Kovaleski. He throws, and he's got Matsura. And Matsura's down about the 18-yard line. It's a gain of about 6 yards on the play, 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Red Tornadoes. And we open up passing, and we know we'll see a lot of balls in the air as this season progresses.
Yeah, I mean, Dave ended up with a fantastic season last year, 1,800 yards. Passing yardage, and I'll tell you what, he can really light it up when it comes down to it. These flat passes and everything else all totals up for him.
High formation, this time he gives it to Kovaleski. Kovaleski had a big head of steam right in front of the big fullback there as Brown plows the head for him, and he's going to be very close if not. It is a 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes on a 5-yard run by Kovaleski.
Getting down to the lineup here again, coming back. Some great talent in that line. Randy Swank, number 54 to center. Left guard this year, number 56, Rich Greco. Right guard, number 72, Joe Daukus. Number 79, John Skinner, left tackle. Right tackle, Marshall Merarkey.
1st and 10, we give it to the fullback, Brown, and Brown steams ahead for about 3 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 7. Ball's on the 14-yard line. They gave him a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9 now. Looks like he got more than that. Ball on the 12-yard line for the Red Tornadoes. Kovaleski comes out of the game.
Look like number 41, Justin Leanovich, comes in at the tight end position.
All right, one back, and that's the fullback now in the backfield. And he sets up the block. Shinsky looks. And he was looking down there for number 27, Wargo. Broken up very well down there. Great defensive play by number 30, Ryan Waltner, for the Royals in the end zone. So it'll bring up 3rd down now and 9 for Big Red.
Tell you what, some great blocking in the line. Dave had a lot of time there, led him perfectly. It was a great defensive play there by the defender,
Waltner,
by that cornerback.
Yep, Waltner.
Everything was just perfect for the Tornadoes.
All right, we'll come in a full house, or I'm sorry, in a shotgun formation. As Shinsky stands between Kovaleski and Brown. He puts Brown out in the flat, but he's looking downfield, and it's intercepted down there. And I'm trying to see who's number 6. Interception on Shinsky. Number 6 is Rich Rupert. He's also the quarterback. And a turnover now, the 2nd turnover of the game, 1 apiece now as the Red Tornadoes have thrown the ball away. And the Royals will set up shop First and 10, ball sitting at the 41-yard line of the Royals.
Okay, defensively, again, we come in with a lot of experience. Dave Brown, number 39, coming in at the nose guard. Randy Swank, the left guard, the left tackle, and the right tackle, number 79, John Skinner.
3 men in the backfield for Rupert as he brings the Royals up. He hands to the third man back there, and he's going to gain about a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Royals.
Number 41, the defensive end, Justin Leonovich. Number 29, Damian Buggy on the other side. Your linebackers, Steve Matsur, number 21. Number 45, Mike Lashinsky. The cornerback, number 32, Damian Chicatano. And number 3, John Dara. The strong safety, number 4, Matt Kufta. And a free safety, number 2, Drew LeCavage.
This time they line up in an I formation. They bring Kitchen in motion. And it's a rollout. Rupert's rolling out the pass. He looks downfield and he throws an interception. That's number 4 for the Red Tornadoes, Matt Kufta. Kufta right in the right spot, and a turnover again. 3 turnovers here in the early part of the first quarter. So the Red Tornadoes take over now in Royal territory at the Royal 49-yard line. Nice play by Kufta.
Kufta did best thing. He stayed his ground. You know, they tried to clear out. When they clear out a zone, as we know, they always run one guy right down the sideline. It's the corner man that's supposed to take him, and you know, he didn't take the fake at all. He just stayed there and picked off the pass.
This is Chicatano on the carry, and Chicatano's going to gain 5 yards on the play. I think about 2nd down and 5. Damian Chicatano, number 32, on his first carry of the evening.
Now we're going to see some different names, and we tried to give you the starting lineup. We gave you the interior line. The tight end, number 29, is Damian Buggy. The split end is number 27, Tim Wargo. Then, of course, we got Dave Shinsky, number 8, the quarterback. The slot man, number 21, Steve Matsura. Brown is the blocking fullback, but number 32, Chicatano, number 30, Kovaleski will be in and out.
Pitches to Chicatano, makes the cut upfield. Now he's back outside. Chicatano with some running room. He's on the Mount Carmel area sideline, picks up a 1st down and more, and he'll be taken down at the 30-yard line, the Royal 30-yard line. Nice play by Damien. A lot of nice cuts there.
I'll tell you what, right 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, he made a juke to the left, coming back to the interior field and then cut back to the outside, and it just left the defender standing there. He did get out to the outside, but the pulling guards, I'll tell you what, really did a job leading the blocking.
So Big Red on a little bit of a move here as they intercepted the ball. The 1st and 10. Ball just inside the Royal 30-yard line. He's got Brown and Chicatano in back of him as he lines them up. Again, Chicatano on the carry. He's still on his feet. Chicatano, some hard running. Yeah. And he'll take it down to the 24-yard line. Gaining of about 5 on the play. 2nd and 5 for Red Tornadoes.
And that's one thing that these 2 running backs, these tailbacks, are going to have to do. They're going to have to step up at the beginning of the season right now and show that they can carry the ball. Keep in mind that both of these guys had very limited experience throughout last year. We had Jared Pilarski carrying the ball until he got hurt towards the end of the season. And, of course, you know, Kovaleski Mark had come in and sort of helped out there. But limited experience.
Shinsky lines him up. This time he gives it to the fullback, and a quick one. The fullback, Brown, and Brown is still pounding down. He'll take it down to the 15-yard line, where we 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes as they're moving the ball on the ground well right now.
Well, you talk about some blocking on the left-hand side between Randy Swank, number 54, 56, Rich Greco, and number 79, John Skinner on the left side to give Dave Brown, who really doesn't need much room at all, because he could probably carry some of these guys right down there.
Brown is aptly wearing Larry Zonka's old number, for those of you who remember him, and he runs quite the same way. Yeah. He's just going to bash into the ground. He's out of the game right now. We stay in the I formation, and this time they give it to number 45 of the Red Tornadoes, Lashinsky, the up back. He took Brown's place, and he'll pick up about a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. So a lot of people in and out of the Mount Carmel area lineup, as we were told would happen. A lot of people are going to play. There's a lot of position people. A lot of they got some depth and a lot of good places.
And it's, I'll tell you what, this is 1 year that I can say, looking at the chart, that we have depth in every year. A man to step in.
Shinsky to roll, and he's going to be in trouble there. That's Kitchen, number 25. Kitchen brings Shinsky down. It'll be a loss back to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 20 for the Red Tornadoes. And again, Kitchen's a guy we remember from last year. He had a great game last year, and he's back. He's also the main ball handler on offense, but plays tough defense too. So they turned the Tornadoes back a little bit here on a big play by Kitchen. It's now 3rd and just about 20. See what the Red Tornadoes have in store here. Shinsky goes shotgun. He's got some time as he's looking, and he's got Matsura wide open. There it is, the initial touchdown of the 2002 campaign. Shinsky to Matsura, and he was wide open, Wayne.
I'll tell you what, one thing that I've noticed, even though there was a tip pass and even though there was an interception, take a look at the amount of time that Dave Shinsky has. He's going to be well over 1,800 yards with this type of blocking from this experienced line right here.
Yep, he really did. That showed it right there. Number 4 into the lineup will be Kufta to attempt the extra point. He puts it up, and I don't know if he, yes he did, but the angle here was hard. So Kufta gets the initial point after of the season here, and it's now Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 7, Pius the 10th Royals 0, and that's at the 5:35 mark of the first quarter here.
I tell you what, one thing that I noticed right from the get-go was that the blocking schemes of this line. Now this line is experienced. You know, we have Rich Greco. He's new, but he did play defense.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he's accustomed to that. Now the only new one there is Joe Dalgas, a freshman, 220 pounds, and at this point right now, you know, what I saw, what he's doing an excellent job down there. But I'm sure he's under the tutelage of Randy Swank and John Skinner and Marshall Merarkey for the last couple weeks. And I'll tell you what, there are some guys last year that came in raw too, right from the beginning, but did an excellent job, learned a lot, and going to prove a lot this year.
Shinsky heads it down to Stewart again, and Stewart brings up the Mount Carmel sideline. He's got himself a nice run going. He steps out of bounds, and he'll do so at the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Royals. And he's a guy you got to be careful of. He's the one that's bringing the speed here in the backfield, number 31. So keep your eye. And he is in the backfield most of the time. So Rupert will have a 1st and 10 here for the Royals as they now trail 7-0 here in the first quarter. Strong point of this Red Tornado team, of course, is the line, as you talked about, in the defense. They are tough defensively.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience out there on that field right now.
Rupert's back in a shotgun formation. He has Bryce next to him, and he goes down in a hurry, and that's Swank. Randy no-neck Swank. He's my main man, and he comes down like a bullet and takes Rupert down for a big loss back to the 30-yard line. And Swank's the guy you want to pay attention to. Swank's got some all-state potential, absolutely. He's the guy they're going to be talking about as this year progresses. He's one of them. There are several here, and he is one of them that you want to keep your eye on.
You know what? That's a sin because there are so many on this team that are qualified to be in that spot right now.
But he is just a great kid. As Rupert brings him up now, and he's going to hand off, and that's Bryce. And Bryce is brought down after about a 2-yard gain down there, and coming off the bottom of that pile is Letkavich. And 29 Buggy for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Randy Swank came through. He made such a big hole when he gets out of his position that you know, it was nothing for Buggy and Letkavich to fill that spot.
I mean, he's an offensive tackle's nightmare right now.
He is. He truly is.
3rd and 13 now for Rupert. Goes with an I formation now, and we have flags on the play. I believe it's going to be motion.
But, you know, you take a look at the size of this line coming across. There's Damian Buggy, defensive end. He's a senior, 195. Randy Swank number 54, playing the left tackle defense, 270 pounds, senior. Dave Brown, senior, 235 pounds. He's the nose guard and as quick as he is. John Skinner, a junior, 280 pounds. And he's been eating people up the whole time over on that side since last year. Justin Leonovich, a junior, 190 pounds.
Penalty was against Mount Carmel. Brings up 3rd and 8 now for the Royals. And Rupert goes back, and he's already in trouble as Swank is intent on just gonna smother Rupert every time he moves. Swank is completely manhandling his side of the ball right now, as I knew he would.
Yeah, I think they better start moving to the. Look at Swank. Look at he moves to the outside. He rolls him out to the outside and does a swim move, and he's going in that direction.
Yeah, he's what amazes you is when you look at that kid. You know, he is so big, but he's so fast.
Yes.
And that's what's really going to get people in trouble here, not realizing how fast he really is at 270 pounds. Royals back to punt, number 4, and that's Zappola back to punt for the Royals, and he gets it off. Heads it down to Wargo, who lets it drop. Now Litkavich picks it up, and he heads for the sideline. He'll pick up some yardage and just get up to the Mount Carmel area 39-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes here with 3:45 remaining in the first period of play.
Good job. He let the ball hit the ground once. He didn't let it hit the ground a second time. He picks it up, and he's looking for the sideline here a little bit. He tried to cut it back, but he dove for the ground right away. There were 4 defenders around him.
Red Tornadoes line up. Brown back in there in front of Kovaleski now. So the original backfield back, and Kovaleski will take it, and he'll cross over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Gain of 2, he'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for Big Red.
Seemed like he lost his footing there right at the beginning
somebody bumped him or whatever. He was a little bit off balance as he got moving there, but still picks up 2 yards on the play. Matsura brings the play in for the Red Tornadoes. And they have been successful on the ground, Wayne, so far.
Definitely.
I mean, the scoring play was a pass, but they have done pretty well on the ground. This time he's going to send Matsura in motion, and he drops back to pass, and he looks down there, and he's looking for Matsura, and he throws an interception. And the interception is by number 5, Vince Grego. So Grego picks it off, and the Red Tornadoes have turned the ball over again. 2 interceptions so far tonight for Shinsky.
Yeah, Grego was looking. They were trying to get Grego to come out of his middle linebacking spot. They faked the dive into the center of the line, and he just stood there. He never even moved. Dave did not know that and just came up. They were trying to hit Matsura coming back over the middle of the field.
So the Royals take over in Mount Carmel area territory at the Mount Carmel area 41-yard line, where Rupert brings them up into that full backfield. And he's going to go back to pass, and he's looking deep downfield. He's got a guy down there, and it's going to be a touchdown, Pius the 10th. He got number 30 down there for the Royals, and that's Ryan Waltner. We told you about him before, a Rupert to Waltner pass, 41 yards, and just like that, on the interception, the Royals are on the board. 7-6 at the 2:53 mark of the first period, and that's what you got to be careful with. Waltner's a quality player. He's big, he's tall, and he's fast.
Well, the thing what they had to do there is they had to cut down on the rush by the Tornadoes, the Swank and Damian Buggy over here on the left-hand side. They had to keep everybody in to block those two because of the amount of pressure they put on in the last series of downs.
It's a varied extra point, and he got it up there. It looked like it was tipped, but he got it. So now that'll bring the score at the 2:53 mark of the first quarter in Bangor, Pennsylvania. Mount Carmel area 7, Pius the 10th 7. And this is just as good a football game as we thought it would be.
Oh, definitely. This Bangor team, you know, you look at Pius the 10th, and every time you see the playoffs, district playoffs, year after year, you see Pius the 10th in it. You know, and everybody, there's all, you know, we know already there's 2. There's one down in Pottstown, and there's one up here in Bangor. And this is the team that always gets in the playoffs.
Right.
So this is a quality program year in and year out.
All right, Pius the 10th gets ready to kick off. Kicking off for them will be, is that 80, Wayne? I'm not looking there. I'm trying to see.
Yes, it is.
Mike Dryberg, and he's going to be kicking down there to Wargo, Shikatano, and Leonovich. I'm sorry, Litkavich. Litkavich, number 2, is down there. Shikatano in the middle. Driver is ready. And he kind of squibs it down there, and it's going to go down, and we're going to cover the ball at the 34-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes, number 24 on the ball, Trey Savitsky, covering the ball nicely there, and a little squib kick
and that's what you
by
have
Pius.
to do. It was tipped as it went past the first 5 men. And, you know, the first thing you want to teach somebody is you don't try to pick that thing up because it's like a watermelon. It's going to squirt away on you. You want to just jump on it, and Trey did exactly what he had to do.
So Big Red will take over, 1st and 10, tie score. This time we go into a split backfield. That's the first we've seen that tonight as Shinsky lines up, and he pitches out to Shikatano, and Shikatano picks up some nice yardage as he crosses over the 35-yard line out to about the 37.
And, you know, they're running that to the tight side of the field. Mm-hmm. You know, usually you try to run that to the long, you know, where you have some running room out to the outside. But Shikatano has shown right at this point so far carrying the ball that he has some quick feet to make some good moves, and they're lateral moves, and that's what a good tailback needs.
3-yard pickup on that run. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. He puts Lekavich in motion. He gives it to Lekavich, who cuts outside, and Lekavich is going to cross over the 40-yard line out to about the 41. He's going to come up about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
Nice play. Greco, number 56, the left guard, pulling to kick out the defensive end, and he did that, and just enough to give Lekavich some running room.
The Pius the 10th are a little confused about their defense. They're all looking there, shaking their hands as Shinsky brings them in here. Shikatano and Brown in that backfield, and they'll go into that I formation here with the 3rd down and 3. This time we'll go to Shikatano, and Shikatano, a nice play, but not enough for the 1st down. He'll take it out to the 42-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. It'll bring up 4th down and 2, and the Red Tornadoes will be in a punting situation, their first punt of the evening.
Trying some series over the right-hand side of the offensive line this time. In that first score, they ran everything left.
Waltner will go back deep for the Royals as Shinsky lines up to punt. Nice punt, and he drives Waltner back. And Waltner eludes the first tackle, but he's in trouble here, and he goes down. That's Leonovich who chased him down like a missile. So they put it down, and he brings him down right at the 20-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Pius to 10th, and that was some nice coverage there. He eluded that first tackle, but Leonovich was just like a missile. He couldn't get away.
Well, and again, that comes down. Dave came back, you know, from his punting from last year. He did an excellent job. He gets the ball up high enough, and that's where you get your coverage. That type of coverage where you have 3 men down there on the man receiving the ball. So.
All right, Rupert brings them up. He's got himself in an I formation there with Kitchen in the back, and Red Tornadoes have jumped. So that was a cadence call there where he actually got Big Red to jump. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Bring up 2nd down now and 5 for the Royals. And the ball will be sitting inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and you see we are switching some guys around depending on what type of offensive set we get. We have Kufta coming from the right side to the left and so on and so forth. Johnny Dara dropping back a little bit deeper than normal.
This time we got Bryce as the fullback and Kitchen as that tailback, and it's going to go to Kitchen, and he's going no place. And that was all I saw was
Skinner, John, number 79.
Yeah, 79, I believe. Let me see who gets off there. I saw his arm reach over there, and they're going to stop Kitchen for a loss on the play.
I don't know how he got over Brown.
It'll bring up 2nd and 5. They put a no gain, but he was actually stopped behind the line of scrimmage there as a great play by the defensive line.
And now we have number 71 in, Marshall Merarkey for Randy Swank, giving Randy Swank a little bit of a rest in this series.
So the end of the first quarter here is 1 second and now 0. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 7. Pius to 10th, Royals 7. And it's been an exciting first quarter of play here as you see the scoreboard. The ball is on the 24-yard line as we begin the second quarter with the Royals in possession, but been very good. Some miscues by Big Red, and one of them hurt them.
Right.
And the same for the Royals. One of them hurt them. So it's been a very evenly played first quarter here, and the Royals are bringing everything we thought they would. They're a very talented team. They are a single A team, but as we learned from Southern, that means very little. You know, Southern single A too, but that doesn't mean anything.
Single A, they're playing all double and triple A teams. You know, so you're right. That does not mean anything.
This team actually plays one of the roughest schedules you can, and one of the longest ones. They are not. No one in their immediate area will schedule them for a lot of different reasons, I guess. And we won't go into that, but they end up traveling, as I said at the beginning of the year here, almost all the time. And they'll be in Western Pennsylvania for 2 games. Sharpsville, one of them. Sharon is the other one. They play in Brooklyn and they play in Delaware. So they've got themselves a pretty good road trip going here as far as that goes. But they're competitive, you know, year in, year out. They had 1 loss last year. That was it, and that was in the Eastern Conference Final. So, you know, we knew what they were when we saw them. They are missing that devastating back with Rath. Kitchen does most of the ball handling here, but they do throw it, let Bryce handle it once in a while, and Waltner will line up occasionally. They kind of do it by committee these days. And here you'll see shotgun formation. He'll keep, now he's going to walk up to the line now. He keeps one back in there. He's got trips over here to his left. Bryce in there to help, and he's going to give it to Bryce on a quick opener, and Bryce goes nowhere. And that's number 29, Buggy. Really puts the hammer to him, and let's see. Brown helped. Yeah, Brown finished him off.
Yeah, but that was a great shot by Damian Buggy, right in the middle of that line. They were trying to spread out the defense a little bit, open up that defensive line to see if Bryce could get up through there, putting trips all the way over on this side. And what happens, you have to shift your defense because you're playing man-to-man at that point. If he breaks through the main portion of that line, he's got some freewheeling right down the field. Same
formation here on a 3rd down and 5. There wasn't any gain there, and he's looking to Bryce down there, and he's got Bryce, and Bryce is in trouble. Leonovich was all over him. He held him up enough and let Cavich finally finish them off. It'll bring up 4th down now for the Royals, and they'll be in their first punting situation of the evening here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, Leonovich did an excellent job there too, because as soon as he saw the pass coming over, he released from his man that he was watching on trips, and he just went right for the ball.
So back in punt formation will be number 4 is Zapola for the Royals. And he gets it off, and it looks like it's heading in the direction of Wargo, who fair catches it right at the Red Tornado 49-yard line, just this side of the Red Tornado side of the field where Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10, and they got good field position here to start the second quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, defensively, that's what you need. You got a team back in the hole, back on the 20, 25-yard line after the punt, and you want to keep them back there, and you see what it did. A short punt puts you right on the 50-yard line, gives you excellent field position for your offense.
Puts Matsura in motion. And it's going to be illegal procedure on the Red Tornadoes. Brown moved a little bit. He was leaning there a little bit right before the snap. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, bring up 1st down and 15 now for the Red Tornadoes.
Now you see we're running our normal offense again. You know, we just want to, what you want to do in the first half of this game is just get all the kinks out, get all the butterflies out of everybody, get out there and hit somebody. And all we're doing right now is running dive plays left and right. Brown's leading, Buggy or Kovaleski is behind. We got some good trap blocking up in the interior of that line.
He's got an I formation now, and he has Chicatano as the tailback, and Chicatano is going to cross over the 45-yard line up to about the 46. It'll bring up a 2nd down now, and about 13 now for the Red Tornadoes. And that time we had Lashinsky in at fullback instead of Brown, as Brown left the game there for a second. They move in and out so often.
Oh, yeah. That's what we said. This is a great team because I'll tell you what, the depth. We have two skilled people, both offensively and defensively, for every position.
All right, same backfield. Shinsky lines him up, and he's back to pass, and he hands it to Chickatano.
On a delay.
And Chickatano on a delay, and he'll take it all the way over midfield down to the 45-yard line. 46-yard line of the Royals. He's about 5 yards short. He'll bring 3rd and 5 on a nice run by Chickatano. He's running hard here so far this evening.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Good call because everybody's looking past at this point here, and all it was just a delay. We're just wait long enough, open up the interior of that line, and Buggy's off and running. It's almost like a draw play.
All right, Brown now back in that backfield at the fullback spot. Chickatano behind him. Shinsky back to pass. Plenty of time, and he's got Wargo out there. He got it over his head a little bit there. He couldn't catch him. It'll be 4th down now and 5 for the Red Tornadoes at the Royal 46-yard line.
Yeah, we were looking for just a little drop pass over there on the flat, right past the down marker, pick up that first down. And, Pius X had flooded that area with defenders, and Buggy did release, and he did what he had to do, and that was to release from his position and look for an open spot.
Shinsky will punt it. And he's got Waltner back there waiting for another good punt. This one's going to, he picks it up down inside the 5, and he goes right down at the 4-yard line.
Trey Savitsky.
Savitsky all over him.
Oh.
Trey Savitsky just was all over him. So poor field position for the Royals thanks to Trey Savitsky's nice play on the punt coverage.
Wow.
Waltner had lost the handle and kind of bounced around a little bit, and by the time he picked it up and got his head up to see what was happening, Savitsky had already taken his legs out from underneath him.
I'll tell you what,
excellent play.
You see Savitsky now starting to step up a little bit. He's only a sophomore to, how big? Savitsky, 170 pounds. So he's starting to show a little bit of presence here on the specialty teams.
Rupert comes them up. He's got Bryson back of him there, and this is going to be a straightforward play. They're just trying to move the ball out from the shadow of their own goalpost there, and he crossed to about the 5. He picked up about a yard. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9 now for the Royals. They just need to get some breathing room down there.
2 yards. I don't even know if that was a handoff. I think that was a quarterback
sneak.
Yeah,
it was a quarterback
sneak.
Yep. .8:30 remaining here in the first half of play at Bangor Park, Bangor, Pennsylvania. This time he's got the I-back formation as Rupert calls it out. And he hands it off to the tailback, and the tailback is going to gain nothing. It's going to bring up 3rd down now. 3rd down and about 8.
They have just done, what they had to do. You got one play, and it was a long pass. It was probably from about a 40-yard pass for the touchdown. For Pius.
41-yard throw.
Other than that, I'll tell you what, these guys are playing some good defensive ball.
Rupert brings them up. He's got Kitchen really in back of him. That's who he gives it to, Kitchen. Kitchen will not pick up the 1st down. It'll be 4th down, and the Royals will be forced to punt from their own end zone.
Mike Lashinsky just filled the hole and made the tackle.
Zapola, number 4 now, is the guy with the pressure on him. And even if he gets off a nice punt, it's going to end up in Royal territory here no matter what, as Litkavich and Wargo, I believe, are setting up right at the Royal 40-yard line to receive the punt. So
yeah, everything he's done tonight has been short so far, maybe a 30-yard punt.
Now Carmel does not pressure them, and it's going to go in the direction of Wargo, who takes it on the run, heads up the sideline. He's still moving, and he takes it down to about the 25-yard line. We'll see where they spot it on the sideline, but tough running by Wargo.
That thing came out like a bullet, although it looked like a pass to Wargo. He's used to catching the ball. So
right on the 25, right on the 25. Yep. So it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes, and they take over deep in Royal territory here to start this series as Shinsky trots out. All right, he brings it up, and he's got the familiar. Now he's got a full house backfield. I was going to say familiar, but he's full house now. And he hands it to the I-back, and the farthest guy back there, which I believe was Metsura, 21, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So Matsura comes into the backfield here. It's the first we've seen him there carrying the ball so far tonight, and we know how dangerous he is. Matsura, of course, can play anywhere, and that's the joy of him. He just is so multi-talented that you're comfortable putting him any place you can. He actually picks up 4 yards on the play, so it's a 2nd down and 6 now for the Red Tornadoes. 6:28 remaining here in the second
And you got 2 good
quarter.
blockers in front of him. You got Lashinsky and Brown. So
this time they give it to Brown, and Brown powers his way down. He'll be about 1 yard short of the first down. He'll bring up 3rd and 1 as they place it down around the 14-yard line. So Brown still picking up the hard 3 and 4 yards every time he touches the ball. Shinsky looks to the sidelines to see what they want to do, and they send in Leonovich, and Buggy comes out. So Leonovich will probably end up at that tight end position. We'll see where they line him up at. He does. He'll go at tight end. They go into a full house backfield once again. And it looks like Shinsky drew the Royals off. Penalty flags are flying, and we'll see, but it looks like a Royal penalty. Let's see where they call. It's against the Royals. 5 yards. Excellent, Shinsky. They had done it to us. Rupert got us once, and now Shinsky gets them back on a hard cadence call. So it moves the ball 5 yards. The ball now on the 16-yard line of the Royals, and it's 1st and 10, Big Red.
Yeah, we're keeping that power backfield in, though. The 2 blocking backs between Lashinsky and Brown, and Matsura is still a
Matsura still remains a tailback, and he's got the 2 fullbacks in front of him.
You got to realize all 3 of those guys can carry the ball.
Yeah. But again, he gives it to Matsura, who picks and chooses his way, and Matsura inside the 5-yard line down to about the 4. Nice running by Matsura.
He hits that left-hand side, and I'll tell you what, it did bottle up over there on the left-hand side. And
watch the hesitation. There he is.
Somebody just grabs his ankle, and I'll tell you what, that was a touchdown.
2nd and 2 now. The Red Tornadoes can gain a first down inside the 5 here and not score a touchdown. So it's 2nd and 2 from the 4-yard line for the Red Tornadoes. This time he gives it to Brown, and Brown's going to be stood up pretty well there. Whistle had blown before the ball came out. Grego made the initial hit there for the Royals, but it's about no gain, I would say. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 now from the 4-yard line for the Red Tornadoes, and they would dearly, Wayne, like to put this thing in the end zone.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's the reason why we're keeping that power backfield, and we want to definitely punch this one over, and we're going to do this on the ground this time, I think. We're not going to go to the air. We're going to show, a little bit of tenacity.
So we've got another official timeout, as now a Royal helmet is being adjusted there, and they've got that fixed away, so we'll start play here in a second. We're going to line up again. This time we're going to go to a full house to the other side, and now we call timeout. So timeout by the Red Tornadoes here at the 4:11 mark of the 2nd quarter. They're on the 4-yard line. It's 3rd and 2, and Coach Brennan wants to have a talk with the entire offense, so we'll see what they call here. And we look forward to a big season again, Wayne, here at KMC TV. We got all the cameras running here. It was pretty tight with the construction down at the stadium. Dave McPhee and his crew did an absolutely excellent job to be able to be ready for this game. There was some concern that we would not have been able to do it. I know that the entire athletic staff and the school district did not want to miss this. It's being so far away, we would not be able to bring as many people as normal, and they wanted them to see it, and they did just an excellent job to get this thing set up.
We have to say, listening to everything here, that it's probably the best that we've seen as an opening game setup.
Absolutely, I agree.
I mean, these kids have done an excellent job. They left at 2 o'clock to get up here just to make sure that everything was set up perfectly. And people just don't realize that the studio at this point is all ripped apart.
Right, there's nothing there.
Nothing's there. All the equipment and everything's laying all over the place, and they had to get everything into the van.
All right, we go power right now instead of power left. That's the difference in it, and we're going to give it to Matsura. And Matsura, I believe, if nothing else, picks up the first down. He does. He's down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 1.
Well, you talk about a surge of bodies in that play there, right over the center. Randy Swank, Rich Greco in the center, and Joe Dalkas, number 72, the 2 guards. They pinched in on Randy Swank. Skinner and Marshall Meraki, number 71, 79. did the same thing. And of course, then you get Dave Brown and Lashinsky coming down blocking behind to pick anybody else up.
And Power again. This time Shinsky just keeps it himself, waiting for the signal. There it is, touchdown. Shinsky on a quarterback sneak from the 1 yard line, 1 yard out, and is now Mount Carmel area 13. Pius at 10-7 with 3:43 here remaining in the second quarter, and we'll line it up and get ready for the extra point attempt by number 4, Matt Kufta. He was good on his first one. Shinsky's the holder. And that's what happens when field position changed like that. They did not want to have to punt out of there, and they did. Kufta puts it up, and he really put it up, and he got it. It's good. So now the score punches out to 14-7 in favor of Big Red as they'll line up to kick off, and I know they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now. That was a nice drive.
Well, I'll tell you what, the key thing was that Wargo did not let that ball go by him. He didn't step out of bounds. He tucked it in, and not only did he catch it at good field position, but he picked up an extra 10 yards on top of it, which was a key. The other part was everybody's starting to gel together, and this is what they need. This is the shot in the arm. These are the types of drives that makes a team right here. You know, nobody gave up. Nobody did anything. We drove right down. We didn't have to pass. We showed that we could drive this, and get into that blocking scheme. You take a look at the fullbacks that time. We went into the powerhouse backfield for that whole series, and you could just exactly what Brown and Shinsky and the boys are saying back there. We're going to do this.
Right, you got her. I mean, that's. Takes a little bit of time on their first game, no matter how much you've done. It takes some time. Shinsky's getting ready to kick it off. He's looking at Bryce down there as one of them, Stewart as the other one. And Rupert, actually the quarterback, goes to Bryce, and Bryce is trying to cut up fielder. He makes a nice cut, but he'll be brought down about the 22 or 23 yard line.
Matsura was on
the hit. Here you see it coming at you. Watch, he makes a cut to the sideline, and then he'll stop and try to get upfield right in the middle, and there he makes his cut. You see him moving upfield, and Matsura gets off the block, and watch. Actually, Matsura and Buggy. So Buggy and Matsura combined on that. As you look at the replay, Buggy in a great spot right there. He didn't budge. So
now here's two guys that are playing both ways and multiple positions, and they're still out there in specialty teams.
First and 10 for Rupert from the Royal 23-yard line. He has a full house backfield in front of him, and he's going to put Stewart in motion, and he's looking to pass. He's got some time, and he gets the ball incomplete. He was trying to get it down there to number 30, Waltner, but Waltner couldn't hang on to it. It was kind of behind him there, and he tried to move and couldn't get it. So it's 2nd and 10 now for the Royals. Waltner's the guy. I mean, he's the go-to guy in a passing situation, from what we can tell. They look for him all the time, and we saw him so much last year and know what a good player he is. So they got to know where he is at every play if they're going to be safe here.
And I think that's the reason why, number 4, Matt Kufta and John Dara are switching back and forth here. They're trying to keep an eye on where he's at all times.
Now Kitchen lines up as that fullback spot with Bryce behind him, and Bryce is going to get the ball. He's going to turn and throw, and he's got a guy wide open. He gets it down to number 80, Dryburr, and Dryburr's not going to be able to take it in number 3, Dara. A great play by number 3, John Dara, saves the touchdown, but the completion all the way down to the Mount Carmel area 20-yard line on a great play, a flea flicker from Bryce to Dryburr.
And you could sort of see that. I think they tried to run that earlier, but Kufta, number 4, had broke it up on a previous series. And, you could see we were playing a tight defense. All they did was they drugged number 80 across from the right-hand offensive end side, from the tight end side across the field.
Ball's actually on the 22 where Rupert lines them up. He had a full house backfield, started moving a little bit. He gives it right up the middle to number 1, Bryce. Bryce picks up some nice yardage over the 20-yard line down to the 17. Should bring up 2nd down and about 5 for the Royals now deep in Mount Carmel area territory. There is 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And the Royals are threatening.
Number 56, Rich Greco is in playing the right linebacker position for the Tornadoes.
Full house backfield, and this time, no gain on the play that time as Skinner absolutely murdered him. Oh, my goodness. That was a hit right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It's 3rd and 5, and the Royals want a timeout to talk about this.
Yeah, 3rd and 5, you want to make sure you got all the cards, especially after that play by Skinner. Skinner just blew in there and cremated that guy.
I mean, he stood him straight up and then popped him down. That was a hit at the line of scrimmage. And Skinner can do that to you. Let's face it.
At 280-pound Skinner can do just about
anything he wants. 2 minutes and 20 seconds here on this big 3rd down play coming up for the Royals. And this is just such a seesaw battle between two great football teams. This is the way you want to open up an opening night here.
And you can see, Coach Brennan had to jump to a different offense because of this, because of, Pius X, the strong defense that they played in the first quarter. Now all of a sudden, because of the strong defense that the Tornadoes are playing, they run a flea flicker and drag someone across and pick up yards. So you want to loosen everybody up here.
All right, they line it up now with 3rd and 5. Rupert's looking. He's got a full house backfield now. He's got them all. He's got Bryce in there. He's got Stewart. And he's got Kitchen moving a little bit there as you do it. And he's going to go out back to pass. He's hit as he throws it, but he completes it, and it's down to a 15-yard line. He's going to be short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up 4th down. Let me see where they finally place it. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2. Yeah, it's about 2 yards short of it. Yeah, down around the 15.
It was pretty much a fake dive to him. A little bit, tried to freeze the linebacker. He snuck through the block.
All on the 16, yeah.
Yep. He snuck through the blocking scheme, and what he was supposed to do was make sure that he had the 1st down, but he just didn't quite get down far enough.
The Royals have called another timeout, it looks like, so it's now 4th down for the Royals and a long 2 yards here at 1:56 remaining. The ball's on the Mount Carmel area 13-yard line. The Royals are threatening.
Well, the first test for the defense.
Absolutely. Here's first game of the season and the first test.
Not even the first half over with, and this is the first test. See what they can do.
So the Royals will looks like they're going to go for it. They don't look like they're making any field goal attempt here. I'm not sure how good their field goal kicker is. In the first game, you really never know that until you go a few games and you get scouted and see what he does. And first of all, you don't really get to kick many, so it takes a while to decide whether or not you can or not. But they're not going to. They're going to line it up in this full house backfield. Now, Kitchen is the tailback in this group. He's got Bryce and Stewart up in front of him. And Rupert brings them up, and now he's going to try to draw him offside. He doesn't. He throws it to Kitchen, and Kitchen breaks loose. And Kitchen's all the way down.
About the 4-yard line?
4-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Royals on a nice play. A pitch by Rupert to Kitchen, and they go to the left. And Kitchen was nearly stopped. Here you see him. He's almost brought down there.
I don't know who that was. Skinner? Looked like it was a good hit right at the line of scrimmage.
So 1st and 10 now for the Royals from the 6-yard line. They're on the 6-yard line here. Again, Kitchen does that little move as he does out of the full house backfield. They go right up the middle. And he takes it down inside the 5-yard line. We'll see where they place the ball. It was on the 6. A minute 28 remaining here in the first half of play, and the Royals are threatening. The ball will be placed at the 3-yard line. On the 3-yard line now, 2nd and goal from the 3. Royals asserting themselves a little bit on the ground here as Rupert brings them up. Again, we do this little movement thing out of that full house, but he cuts it right in the middle, and he's not going to get the touchdown, but he does gain another yard or so.
That was close. That was a close play because
Bryce.
I'll tell you what, he had a nice hole there on the left-hand side, and he was only tripped up as he was going through.
3rd and goal now from the 1-yard line for the Royals. They trail 14-7 at this point in the ball game. Clock is running with 33 seconds left here in the first half as Rupert's going to line him up, and my guess is try to take it in himself. Nope. He doesn't get it. That was not the play I think I would have called. Blown up by Kufta down there.
And he lost yardage.
Yeah, he did.
I think he lost a yard.
There'll be a loss on the play of about a yard. He'll go back around the 2-yard line, and now with 20 seconds remaining, it's 4th and 3, lost 2 yards on the play. 4th and 3 now for the Royals. That was not the play I would have called right there. I'm surprised by that a little bit.
He tried to come across the line. I think it was more of an option play. I think he was going to Kitchen as the dive man and trying to keep it or pitch it out. And definitely that with the pursuit of the defensive line, that's not the play to be calling.
No.
You know, you're only a foot away. That's a straight dive.
The Royals called their final timeout. There is 20 seconds sitting here on the clock in the second quarter of play. That middle guy, there he goes, Kitchen. This time he moves all the way out. And they're going to give it to, he keeps it on a pass play. Penalty flags are down. Touchdown has been said, but there's a penalty flag, and they're going to call this back.
I think man downfield, I bet.
They're calling this back.
Illegal man.
Illegal man downfield, and the Royals have a touchdown, negate it. It'll be 4th down still, but now it's going to be 4th and a ways. Tough break for the Royals as they are penalized on a touchdown catch here late, very late in the second quarter. Now we'll watch this get marked off for illegal man downfield, and then we'll see where they set it up. Either that or he has a headache. See, that's the headache call, and the other one, illegal participation, is the heart attack call.
That is true.
Yeah, so now the Red Tornadoes call timeout as the Royals were totally out of them. The Red Tornadoes will call timeout and regroup themselves defensively here. And it's going to bring up 4th down now and 7. It's 4th and 7 to go for the touchdown. 4th and goal from the 7.
Now you know darn well they just tried it there on the 3-yard line, or from the 3-yard line, that they flooded the whole end zone, and I think that's what coach is going out to tell them. Make sure that, you know, everybody picks up a man here. Put pressure on the quarterback like you did that time.
Well, I mean, it's really odd, I think, but 4th and 1, and they pass, which is either just a lot of respect for that defense, you know, on the run stopping, or they did complete it, yes, but you would not have thought of them doing that, and I'm not sure. That's a high-risk play with 4th and 1 and no time left.
It was actually 4th and 3.
Or 4th and 3, I'm sorry. It was 4th and 3 because they lost 2 on the previous play.
Where they should have ran the ball is when it was only second or first and a foot, or second and a foot.
From inside the 1. All right.
Now,
Rupert's going to line them up, and Rupert's going to be in shotgun formation here, and he's got everybody out to his right-hand side, so obviously that's where the ball's going to have to go if it goes, and he does. And it's broken up, turned away. The Royals are turned away from a first and inside the 1. They are turned away.
John Dara
on the play. Here you see it. Rupert's rolling out. He had everybody to the right side of the field. Watch Dara. Oh, yes, that's defensive back play there. As the ball is broken up, the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line, and I'm sure they're taking a knee and going into the field house with 9 seconds here remaining in the half. That 7-point lead looks big now as they turn the Royals away. And they do exactly that, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first half of play here at Bangor Park, with Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes leading 14-7 over the Royals of Pius X. Okay, gang, we're back here to start the second half, and of course, if it's anywhere near as exciting as the first half, we're in for a whale of 2 quarters of football. But first, we're going to have Wayne give you the first half stats, courtesy of our main stat man, Jose Gonzalo.
The man with all the numbers. I'll tell you what, year in, year out, you talk about someone that is dedicated to this whole program, and it is Jose. In the Mount Carmel side, the rushing department, 21 carries, 69 yards. Damian Chicatano, 6 for 38 yards. Brown, 4 for 14. Kovaleski, 3 for 9. Litkavich, 1 for 5. Matsura, 3 for 21. Lashinsky, 1 for 1. You're talking about 6 guys touching the ball in the first half for the Tornadoes. On the passing end of it, we are 2 of 6, 31 yards, and both of those went to Matsura for 31 yards. First downs, 6. On Pius X, rushing 14 rushing yard, 14 carries for 21 yards, but they're doing better in the passing department. 4 of 8 for 94 yards, and of course that one was the flea flicker where the number 80, the end, had drug across the center and caught that pass.
Actually, if you got 94 yards, you got that one, which was good for 40. The other one was a 41-yard touchdown pass. So that basically 2 passes eat up the entire passing yardage.
Yeah, and the first down department 3. So the defense for the Tornadoes are doing an excellent job, although the score is very close, and this game is very close.
Yes.
You know, it's 14-7, and you just cannot, turn your back on Pius X, or as we had seen down in the end of the first half, they were down third and a foot to go, and eventually then we kicked them back. They tried to pass, and of course John Darrow breaks up in a great play down there when Pius was trying to score.
Well, we'll get this thing ready to go in a couple seconds here. We want to take a moment here. Of course, we have a special birthday wish going out today to our very own sports information guy, of course, and that's Phil. And Phil does, I can't tell you how many things Phil does because there's too many of them, but Phil really is the glue behind this organization as far as the numbers, the rosters and the kind of things we need to get set up and get ready to go. And without him, we'd truly be in trouble. So I want to wish him a big happy birthday today. And he was out with his family, had dinner and all, I understand. And now he's, of course, at the game because he does not miss the game. That's the rule he has. So the Red Tornadoes will line up. They'll receive to start the second half of play here and go on offense. Dryberg will kick it off, and he's kicking down there to Ledkavich, Wargo, and Chicatano. And again, he squibs it down, and that's Kufta. And Kufta will pick the ball up, got himself situated, and ran it over the 40-yard line up to the Mount Carmel area 41-yard line where it's 1st and 10. And they apparently either respect the speed of us in that deep back, or they're just not very good at kicking, one or the other, but they don't kick deep. At least they have not so far anyway. So far they have not kicked anything deep, and Kufta, I think on both kicks, was the one that picked the ball up, and one on a fumble, a tip going back. This time he did situate himself there. Chicatano on the carry. He'll pick up 1 yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. We went back to that I formation again. Yeah, that's Mark Kovaleski, number 30, carrying the ball. He was the tailback that time. And, yes, it was. 30 and 32, and I'm already in trouble the first game of the season. And you know, it's not the names this time; it's the numbers. Come on, Lionel. I know. Jeez, I'll have to get my marquee out. And I like to think it was the first and last. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got it out of the way early this season. All right, we go to a shotgun formation for Shinsky. On the long 2nd down play, he looks downfield, and he's got Matsura in the open. And Matsura is down the sideline. He's still moving. And Matsura is in the Royal territory down at the 33-yard line on a nice pass from Shinsky to Matsura. And those are sure hands when you're heading to 21. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, Dave had plenty of time. And that's one thing that, we've noticed. I said this in the first half when he was back passing, that this offensive line is giving Dave as much time as he needs. There's no scrambling this time. There's no, happy feet that he has to shuffle his way out of there. And he saw Matsura about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Nobody was around him. But Matsura makes a nice move and chucks off a defender for an extra 15 yards. Then Ledkavich comes around on that end play, and Ledkavich still on his feet. Nice carry by Ledkavich. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Ledkavich didn't even have anybody in front blocking for him. And he eludes two. He just cut back into the center of the field. Now that's a 5-yard pickup there. He's down inside the 30 now at the Royal 28-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, and we'll see what the Red Tornadoes do. As again, they are threatening here early in the second half of play. He goes to that I backfield now. And he's going to hand it to, that 30? He got 30 there, Kovaleski, and he'll gain a yard or so on the play. He's going to bring up a 3rd down now and about 4 for the Red Tornadoes. Ball on the Royal 27. Early going here, the second half of play in a 14-7 game with the Red Tornadoes up. Now we got Leonovich coming in, hands.
of course. We got John Dare at hands. Catch the ball. We have Mansour going out. To the right, we have Timmy Wargo. So we got the passing scheme going here.
The big fullback, and I'm not sure who moved here. The Royals are pointing. It could be the Red Tornadoes, and that's going to make a much different play as it is. The illegal procedure play against the Red Tornadoes. It's going to bring up now 3rd and 9, and that's a much different play than a 3rd and 4 that the Tornadoes did have.
Well, they have to come out in trips again. They have to flood a zone. You know, they have to try to pick up this first down. The only way they're going to do that is picking up some chunky yardage right here on this series, on this play.
Yeah, we're going to line up in a shotgun now. And we have a stoppage of play here immediately. And we'll see where this one goes. This one's going against the Royals. I believe they probably lined up in the neutral zone. It's going to go 5 yards back and bring up 3rd and 4 again now. There it is, encroachment in that neutral zone. It's a little give and take, and we end up with a 3rd and 4 as we originally did a couple of minutes ago.
So does that mean it's a good time now to go back to the original play?
I don't know what we should do now. We're sending one in here, so we'll see what that decision is. As number 3, Johnny Dara, into the lineup with the play, and now we'll see what we do, and we do change. We now, again, one back. Fumble. Shinsky recovers it, and now it'll bring up a 4th down. He probably gained maybe a yard.
Yeah.
Bring up 4th down and see where they place it here.
They pulled out, but you know what? It was a good move because he picked the ball up. He made sure he had the ball, tucked it in, and he pushed himself forward. He picked up about a yard.
That's going to bring up, the way it looks, a long 3, say 4. 4th and 4 now for the Red Tornadoes in Royal territory here on their initial drive here in the second half. Lashinsky behind him as a lone back, and he drops back. Lashinsky picks up his guy, plenty of time, and he's got Matsura. And Matsura, nice play to come back to the ball, but Bryce made a nice defensive play on Matsura down there. And the Red Tornadoes will turn the ball over on the 4th down play. And it'll be 1st and 10 Royals from their own 27-yard line with 8:09 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Royals playing tough defense, passing defense. They're really playing tough.
You know, it's a give and take here, especially the defenses. Both sides are playing some great defensive schemes here.
Power I formation. He touches it back to Stewart there. He was trying to find some room on the outside and gains very little.
That was the old student body, pitch to the tailback.
Out of the power I there.
Out of the power I, and you have the two pulling guards out in front along with the 2 halfbacks, the blocking fullbacks, and trying to turn the corner a little bit. He picks up 3 yards on that play.
2nd down for the Royals. Now we'll see in both of these teams what kind of adjustments were made here. So Rupert will bring him up there, and now he has just one back in the backfield, and he has everybody flooded out to his left side. Kitchen will remain on that side, and it's going to be a reverse to Kitchen. And Kitchen's got some blocking up there, but it collapses very quickly there.
Buggy, number 29, in on the initial hit. He never even left his position. He just stayed there.
That's a play. Now, I don't know if we've seen this, but if you watch this play, watch what's going on here. You pretty much can see this play happening. You really can. Yep. With Kitchen doing that stutter step, you almost know that he's coming back inside that play. So that was well played down there by the Red Tornadoes, and it's going to bring up now 3rd down and a long 5 for the Royals. That was, you're right, well defensive. It looks like a play you only have to see once to pretty much know what's happening off that play. I've not seen him run anything else like that tonight. Now he goes back into that power eye. He's got Stewart. I believe it's Stewart or Bryce Stewart. But he's going to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got plenty of protection this time. And he's got his guy there. And that's Waltner. And Waltner's going to be drugged down on a great play by Lashinsky down at the 15-yard line.
I don't know how he got in there because got that ball in there. It was drilled, but I'll tell you what, take a look. 3 defenders standing right there in front of the receiver.
There you see the shot of it, how crowded it was down there. I'm not sure why the coach was standing on the field during that moment, but Waltner is down, and I believe it's a cramp. He made it to the 15. Lashinsky tackled him, and he got out of bounds. And
I'll tell you what, it showed a little bit of speed there.
You see the speed of a guy like that.
Yep. Coming down, I'll tell you what, he had to pick up some yardage.
I mean, Lashinsky's 185 pounds, trucking down the side of the field there. He saves the touchdown, but the Royals now, just as Mount Carmel was earlier, wrapping at the door in this seesaw battle between two storied football teams. It's 6:27 remaining here in the third period of play. Ball's on the 17 is where they finally say he went out, and Waltner is still down on the side until what they're doing. I believe he has cramps. I mean, I believe that's what they're doing. They're doing the pushing on the leg thing, and that's a cramp thing. I've learned that after all these years. So Waltner comes down with a cramp, and that happens a lot of times in the first game.
Yeah.
It happens when he's overstriding, which he did, trying to get the touchdown, and then he gets stopped so abruptly. So it's something we've seen. He'll be all right, but he's going to wish they cut his leg off for to get that cramp out of it, because it is just truly painful. And anybody who's ever had one in anything knows how painful they can be. So the timeout's still on the field while they attend to Waltner. And the Red Tornadoes now once again need to make a big defensive stand if they're going to try to make this 7-point lead hold up. This Royal team just keeps coming back.
It just seems like the Tornadoes, they have, so intense all the way down to about the, third and five. They get there, they play good defense, and like all of a sudden they just let up just that little bit. And Pius has twice now, well, 3 times now, has taken advantage of that. And, it's a great defensive scheme. Everybody's playing hard. And, they're not fluke plays.
No. Now, this is a tough Royal team. We knew it would be. I mean, they did lose a lot to graduation, but as I said, they picked up a few people up from different areas. In fact, 1 or 2 from Phillipsburg, we understand, has come to play for them. So that's the way they reload, and that's why they're not a real popular group among their own group here, if you know what I mean. But
well, we know that
it is what it is, and that's what happens.
A few of the teams that we've played over the years,
right? So
down in this area, they actually broke up leagues. They've started leagues, and some teams have abandoned, started their own, and say, hey, we're not letting you play. And the reason is because they recruit.
Right, and that's basically what the crux of the matter is up around here, is why their travel schedule is the way it is. They actually, as you pointed out at halftime, are playing Shamokin this year and North Schuylkill.
And North Schuylkill.
North Schuylkill's a AA school. They're playing AA again this year. And, of course, Shamokin a AAA school. So they have quite a schedule ahead of them. And, of course, Mount Carmel here, the cream of the crop in AA, at least so far here as the season begins. Waltner is up now. Still looks like he's in a lot of pain, and Waltner's really the only weapon they've gone to in the passing game. Everything they've thrown has been the Waltner. Now, one to Dryberg, which was the flea flicker that Bryce hit him with, but we'll get going, and now handoff, and he makes some good yardage on the handoff. Skinner coming off the bottom of the pile down there.
About a 5-yard gain that time.
Kitchen on the run, and Kitchen comes up limping a little bit. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6, about a 4-yard gain for Kitchen. But Kitchen's hurt there. He is gimping around a little bit. Ball's on the 12 now of the Red Tornadoes, and they need to stiffen up here, right here. This one goes right inside there, and that's going to go for very little yardage, down to about the 10, about a 2-yard gain. Bring up 3rd and 4. That was Bryce on the carry.
Yeah, Michael Shinsey coming over from the right-hand linebacker position to make the tackle. Hard hit that time, along with Mansour, the left linebacker.
And this is a big 3rd down play. Red Tornadoes got to be careful about the count and the cadence here, because it's 4 yards. They can be drawn offside and get a 1st down. As Rupert brings them up, he's got everybody in the backfield again here. And he goes to that long count, but he keeps it. It's an option play. He optioned it out to fumble. Ball's still out, and the Red Tornadoes, I believe, have recovered the fumble. He tried the option at the last minute to Stewart. Stewart could not pick the ball up, and we'll see who finally fell on it there as they're trying to get to the bottom of the pile. But I believe the Red Tornadoes had recovered it. Let's see where it goes. It was between his legs, actually. And it's going to stay with the Royals. Lucky break for the Royals, as I thought we had actually gotten that, but Stewart was managed to come up with it somehow. But it brings up now a 4th and 7 for the Royals, and now the ball's back at the 14.
You know, they tried to run an option play down here, you know, for the touchdown, dragging across the line. And of course, with the speed of the defensive line, the quarterback was already going down. I have no clue why he decided to try to pitch that.
That was a tough pitch. Because Stewart was kind of even caught by surprise.
Yeah.
Now he puts him up in this full house backfield, and now we have a timeout on the field. The Royals have called timeout. Coach Scagliato wants to take a little talk with these guys before they make a crucial 4th down play. It's 4th and 7 from the 14, 4:11 remaining here in the third quarter of play at Bangor Park in Bangor, Pennsylvania.
Well, again, the thing they have to watch is the pitch play, the fake run around the end and drag number 80 across the field again like they did, you know, for a big gainer down here. And then you're right, this is going to be a crucial play both defensively for the Tornadoes and offensively at this.
This is a big play. I mean, this is absolutely a big play right now. It's the biggest play of the game coming up. Big Red needs to stop this momentum a little bit, clinging to a 7-point lead. And I say clinging to it because this has been one seesaw battle back and forth there since the initial kickoff. So it looks like the Royals know what they want to do here. They're going to get him off. Now everybody's out to his left, including the running back who's standing next to him. He goes in motion. This is a full flood to the left. And he's going to run, and he's down. He's sacked. Red Tornadoes bring him down there. That's Skinner, I think.
No, Buggy, number 29.
Buggy, okay, coming off the bottom of that pile. And Skinner was also there. So the Red Tornadoes turn the Royals back here late in the third quarter, take over on downs on the 15-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Big Red, and they need to probably put something together here, burn some time.
Yeah, that's
and they got to keep the ball out of their hands because they are just too dangerous.
Yeah, they have to burn some time off the clock here. They have to, you know, put a good running scheme together as they did in the end of the first
This one's going to go to Chicatano on a quick opener, and Chicatano crosses over the 15. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Red Tornadoes.
You know, with a lot of these plays, if you take a look, you're just one blocker away from breaking that halfback, whether it be Chicatano, Matsur, or Kovaleski. Every time there's just a linebacker or a corner man trailing over to make that tackle.
All right, Big Red comes up now. He has Kovaleski as the lone back in back of him. He'll line up and looks like he's going to pass, and he is under all the pressure from Kitchen. Kitchen blitzed over from that right defensive side, and he puts Shinsky down, and let's see, it's going to be a loss back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Kitchen made a great play. He released from his corner right there and just came around. We've seen that a number of times last year. When Dave rolls out to one side or to the other, he is left blind on the back side. Nobody back there blocking for him, and you know, here's a case here where Pius X just picked that up immediately.
Okay, 3rd and 10 now. Shotgun formation. Shinsky back under heavy pressure from Dryberg right away. Throws an interception. The interception is down there by number 5. And that's Vince Grego. That's his second one of the evening for the Royals, and they're back in business, and they're right back in business at the 15-yard line, where it's 1st and 10.
There's got to be some place in there where he is told number 5, you do not move from this part of the field, because that's the second time that he was just standing in the middle. That was it.
Yep. So another turnover, 3rd interception of the evening for the Red Tornadoes, and it's 1st and 10 from the 15, exactly the way it started out here in the initial sequence. Rupert hands it off to Bryce, the fullback, and Bryce is going to gain about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Royals at the 14.
Tell you what, Matsur comes up very quickly to fill that hole up. Number 21 from his left linebacker position, and to make that stop there.
Well, tough series for the Tornado defense. They've been on the field a lot here now in this third period. 2:05 remaining here in the quarter. And we line up again. Kitchen is that tailback now with Bryce in front of him as the fullback. And Rupert's going to pass. He's got a lot of protection out there, a lot of time. And he gets around the edge, but he goes out of bounds. Kufta makes the hit, but I think he went out of bounds further up the field, and there he did.
They're calling him.
Well, let's see.
They're calling him where Kufta hit him out.
All right, so let's see where he ends up. We have a Mount Carmel area player down on the field. I believe that is Buggy. Is that not 29 down there, Wayne?
Yes, it is. It's Buggy.
The Buggy down on the Royal sideline there, and we'll take a time and play here. 1:49 remaining. It's going to be 3rd and about 7.
He only picked up about a yard.
It's 3rd and 7 from the 13 now.
It looked a little bit more than what he picked up.
He was so deep to begin with, I guess. Now Buggy gets right back up, and you got to be real careful with Buggy. Of course, he had that knee injury that kept him out of here, and really was tough getting back. And he is limping. I can't tell if that's just a kind of a.
It could be his ankle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He doesn't look like he'd be favoring anything there, but you notice he wears that brace on his knee. He's wore it all last year too, and we saw him get hurt right at the end of the year last year. And you always want to be careful with him. So Buggy comes out of the game. Greco, I believe, would Greco come in and take his place, or who came in and take his place now? I can't tell who they
Leonovich, number 41.
Leonovich, all right. 3rd and 7 from the 13. Rupert again is going to go back and pass. This time he's on a lot of pressure, and he's got all kind. Intercepted.
Chicatano.
That's Chicatano, and he's going to take it back. And if he goes all the way, it's going to be about a 99-yard interception for a touchdown. There it is, Chicatano, ladies and gentlemen. Touchdown, Big Red. 99-yard interception for a touchdown.
Damian Chicatano, did you see him sitting back in the end zone? Waited until the very last minute. The pass was thrown.
Here's the replay
Watch
coming.
The replay here. Damian waits until the very last second, until the ball's released and comes up. There were 2 receivers that were open down there.
Rupert does a lot of nice moves, but there he is. Chicatano sees it just at the 1-yard line.
Look
and
at
once he gets going, nobody catches him.
Wow.
What are we calling it now? The press box had 4 different numbers. 98. Let's settle on 98. All right, a 98-yard touchdown, interception touchdown return for Damian Chicatano, number 32. I'm not sure. We have a timeout on the field here as Kufta. I'm not sure what happened to Kufta. I'm not sure how it's been a long time since we did anything, and now he's kind of wobbling off the field and he's down. He may have a cramp, but there's a timeout on the field there as Mount Carmel area now gets ready to attempt the point after. 1:28 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is about as exciting as you want to see in a football game. And Chicatano, again, that speed. No one was near him then. No one was catching him.
I'll tell you what, you talk about some pressure on a defensive team in this half. You know, they were on the field a long time in this 3rd period.
Yes.
And, not just on the field. They were on the field down at the 15-yard line twice. So you're talking about some pressure on those kids. And Damian Chicatano comes up. It was, I'll tell you what, great pursuit by the defensive line because the quarterback just threw that ball up in the air, hoping to hit his receivers down at the goal line.
Kufta does have a cramp. That's what I was trying to figure out how we would have gone so long.
Yeah.
And as he lined up for the extra point, I guess as he bent over, and that's what it does. And he had to try to get out. He couldn't get off the field even. So we took there's an injury timeout actually, although we took a timeout at the same time because Coach Brennan was on the field. So we're going to attempt that extra point at some point here, although he is the extra point attempt. So that's going to be a problem. So wait and see what Coach Brennan comes up with here as Matt Kufta will walk off the field. You can see the toes up. That's a sure sign that there's a cramp. But he is the extra point attempt, guys. We're going to have to wait and see now. Shinsky is capable of doing it. He is capable of kicking the extra point, but I think we might go for 2 here.
But then again, Shinsky is the holder.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So we're going to attempt it. Shinsky's going to do it. Who's lining up as the holder? Can you tell?
I cannot see.
Ooh, he didn't get that one. The holder's down there was 28. Nate Morgan was the holder, but he didn't. He needs a little more practice there, it looks like. So the score will remain at that 128 mark. Mount Carmel area 20, and the Royals of Pius the 10th 7 on just a magnificent interception and run back for a touchdown by Damian Chicatano. The Red Tornadoes will get ready to kick off, and this should be no problem because Shinsky does the kickoff, not Kufta. So it's very odd that you end up losing your kicker to a cramp at the time you got to kick an extra point. You don't see that happen very often.
Well, don't forget now that Kufta. Matt Kufta's out there playing strong safety, so he was running back with Damian Chicatano to block for him, and that's when it happened.
That's exactly right. All right, so we'll get lined up here. Shinsky will get ready to kick it off in the waning moments here of the third quarter. He's going to kick it off down there to looks like Bryce, Rupert, and let's see, 31, that's Stewart. Nice kick.
Wow, I'll tell you what, Dave's doing.
He pushes Rupert down to the 5-yard line, inside the 5 as he tries to come along. Makes a nice cut, and then he'll be buried down there by the Red Tornadoes. Coming off that pile is 56 down there, Wayne. And who's on the very bottom of the pile was 66.
I'll tell you what, number 1, Dave.
So you had John Novak was one of them, and Rick Greco the other.
But if you watch that kickoff all the way down there, number 1, Dave Quintero, he was coming down on the left-hand side, and he did not let anybody get around to the outside. He was protecting to the outside. The runner was trying to get out, but then he cut it up.
Royals have it on their own 27-yard line. It's 1st and 10. And they trail by 13 now. Rupert back to pass. He looks downfield, and he was trying to hit Waltner. He's trying to hit Waltner, but again, a lot of pressure, and he was hit just as he threw, and went incomplete. It'll bring 2nd and 10.
He would have to have a difficult time looking over the defensive line as he's setting up, because he is not a very tall person back there, number 6.
Carl Frouch just brought us Soupies into the box. Ooh. He is now a hero. I shall carry him along on my shoulders if I could without killing myself.
For the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season. Well, no. Game to game now. We were too generous last year.
Okay.
It's game to game now, but he is the hero of this game. Rupert brings him up. He's got a straight eye formation sitting in back of him. Kitchen is the tailback. He pitches to Kitchen. Kitchen's coming along the sideline here, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of about 2 on the play. And down on that stop coming up off the pile is Greco. And I think he had Matsura helping him there a little bit too.
I think right now, the success for Pius at this point through this whole game is their passing, pulling a trick play out here, a trick play out there.
Right.
It's not going to be their rushing attack.
No, they have not done anything on the ground. It's 3rd and 8 now, and you're right. They have not made a consistent running attack throughout the game. It's basically passing. Now, you can see when you put a little pressure on him how that game disintegrates in front of you. So that's the key to him. He's not a real big guy, as you said. He does not see the field well. And even at his best throwback down there, he couldn't get it high enough to get it over Damian. So that's the key to him now. As he lines up, he gets one guy in back of him. That's Bryce.
Too much time.
We have too much time. You're right. When the back judge calls it, it's always that same thing. It'll be a 5-yard walk-off. It'll bring up 3rd and 13 now for the Royals, as they are desperately trying to get back in this football game. 24 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. Rupert's got him lined up now. Again, Bryce, the lone back. He's got everybody out to his left, and he always kind of runs this way. He's got the big guy chasing him.
And hooked him, too. Did you see that?
He gets buried down there finally. It was Swank who got him turned around a little bit, and finally big number 39, Dave Brown, finally finished him off. But
Marshall Morarki was there. And again, I see another player here, Rich Greco, coming in, playing multiple positions. He's in for Damian Buggy on the defensive end position, playing on this left side, because we had seen Damian go out with, we assume, a twisted ankle or something.
That's the end of the third quarter of play here at Bangor, Pennsylvania, and its score, Mount Carmel area 20 and the Royals of the Pius X 7. And let me take a moment here to really talk about the reason that you're seeing us, and that's the crew. Tonight, the crew, the directors, in the first half, they alternate this. The first half director was Josh Yeager, and of course, the second half director was Jumpin' Joe Gushin. On camera tonight, we have Amy Hampton, Paul Frauds, of course, his dad brought us to Soupy, God love him. Steve Sakaitis.
Mention his name twice. Paul.
All right, Paul. Yeah. Paul Frauds gets an extra mention for the Soupy.
Yes.
It shows you how easily we can be bought. Steve Sakaitis, Krista Petruskevich, and Dave Else. They are all on the cameras. And the cable grips are Kevin Bush and Jesse McPhee. And if you don't know what cable grips are, you're getting such a good shot on the field here. You're seeing these field level shots, but you ever see the people running behind with all the cable like wrapped around them, trying to give them enough slack? They're the cable grips. So if you want to see some people get a workout, Mr. Bush and Miss McPhee are the ones getting the workout down there as they are the grips for the thing and keep that cable running. There they are right there, trying to hide it with camera shy. I think that was a young McPhee floating by there, too. That was Dave's youngest there floating by, so he's on the field helping out, too. All right, we're back to kick now. The Royals will punt. Nice high punt. Going to show a fair catch inside. That's by Wargo, just inside Royal territory at the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. And again, field position playing a part in this game now as the Red Tornadoes start in very good field position already in Royal territory. The Royals on the other hand having a harder time of it.
Again, it comes down to the defensive play in the first half. The Royals only had 24 yards rushing, on 14 attempts. So you can see how stingy that we are getting at this point against the run. Now, pass is a little bit different. I'm surprised that Pius X didn't come out in that last series and do a little bit more throwing.
Handed off to Chicatano. He makes a nice cut, and he's just dragged down. He fumbles. Ball's loose. Red Tornado. Wargo picks it up. Wargo's going to go for a touchdown. Wargo goes for a touchdown on the Chicatano. Fumbled it. It moved around. Wargo picks it up, runs down the sideline, and just like that, the Tornadoes have scored. Now, Chicatano is down on the field at the point where he fumbled. But at the 11:39 mark, Red Tornadoes score a touchdown.
That's a play. Here it is. Damien does go down. He got pulled down on his head, and the ball had popped out at that point.
There's Wargo, and Wargo takes off down the sideline. The Royals are positively stunned on this side of the ball.
Their coaches were standing there screaming that they had got the ball. It was fumbled, and it was their ball. And there's Buggy running down the sideline with it.
My goodness. Wargo.
Wargo. I'm sorry.
Timmy Wargo picks it up, and we've seen Wargo, and for Wargo's size, he's 195 pounds. Try catching him, because it's just not going to happen.
No.
I mean, we got some speed going there at 195 pounds, and he just was heads-up football. Knew where he was supposed to be, saw the ball flirting around. Nobody got on it. And Chicatano, by the way, is walking off. You can see him here. He's okay. He got his knee bent all the way back as the ball pops loose, but he looks like he's okay, and he's had a big night so far. So we can forgive him that fumble without any problem whatsoever. Kufta back in now to attempt the extra point as he looks like he's okay, although he's kind of not wanting to bend over much. If you take a look at him. Once you have one of those, you don't want to cause another one. But again, the Red Tornadoes have stunned the Royals now on this fumble recovery, and you also don't see that very often. So
that whole play.
It's been an interesting evening on the first opening game here, as Kufta puts it up and puts it good. So the score now at 11:39 remaining in this football game. It is Mount Carmel area 27, Pius X 7, and Pius X definitely had the wind knocked out of their sails the way it looks on the sideline. You can see the way they're standing. They're almost resigned to the fact that they're going to be in trouble here in this football game.
Yeah, well, they are in trouble because, again, offensively they've done probably their whole game on 4 pass plays. And pretty much, in fact, this last one was pretty much a fluke pass play because you got 3 guys standing right there covering somebody, and the ball squirts through. And what I think happened, I think one knocked the other 2 down. And, the receiver turns around and takes off downfield. Offensively, on the run, Pius X is having a very difficult time with it. You got those Swank you got Dave Brown, and you got John Skinner in there. Now all of a sudden, you know, this is what we talked about, the depth here. You know, you got Damian Buggy. He's out at the defensive end position. Now all of a sudden you got Greco coming in playing the defensive end. He plays it just as tough as the other guy. So, you know,
yeah, you're not losing anything.
No, you're not losing anything here. So, you know, they're doing an excellent job against the run.
Shinsky tees it up. He'll let it rip. And he's going to head it down in the direction of Bryce. Another nice kickoff down to the 10. Bryce fakes the handoff and still has it. And he's getting him up to about the 26-yard line where he's brought down by John Novak. I think was part of that crew down there.
Yeah, 55, Dan Evans.
And John Dara actually was one that turned him into the traffic there. He couldn't get around Dara, and that forced him back into the wash a little bit. So the Royals will take over. 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line, and there is 11:32 remaining in the ball game. Red Tornado defense has been very tough the entire night. They have not changed much.
Yeah, Drew Litkavage is out at the free corner position, but I see Kovaleski's in now. Drew is in there at the free safety.
Right. Shotgun formation. Rupert's looking. He's under some pressure. He throws downfield, and he's complete. Down to about the 34-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Royals.
Well,
Kitchen was the guy down on the reception.
We're going to sit back a little bit softer now on the defensive pass position. You want to try to keep them in on the field. They don't want to kill the clock here and try to save some timeouts. You know, clock is still running at this point. Did not pick up the 1st down even to kill the clock.
Quick handoff to Bryce. Bryce will pick up the 1st down. He takes it over to the 35-yard line. He's up to about the 39-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Royals.
John Lashinsky, number 45, making a stop along with number 41, Justin Leonovich.
Kovaleski in that defensive backfield for the Red Tornadoes, now number 30.
Yep. He's playing one of the corner position. You see he'll switch over depending on...
Right, he's moving around a little bit.
Moving around a little bit and taking the corner.
He puts Stewart in motion. He's got one guy behind him, and that's Bryce, and he rolls out as he always does. And again, Lashinsky absolutely levels him. I mean, he just leveled him. Rupert a little bit shaky getting up off the field.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 10, but that was a hit, Wayne.
Yeah, watch this. It's on instant replay. It should be right in front of us here, too.
See, there's Lashinsky.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
boom. And you know, the best part about it is that Mike put his helmet right on the numbers. And that's exactly what they teach you to do.
That's what you want to do. So a big hit by Lashinsky. And Rupert definitely took a hit. He's a little bit wobbly on that one. He had trouble getting up there for a second. So 2nd down and 10, the same shotgun formation as the Royals will now try to pass their way back in the game. Well, they hand it to Bryce up the middle, and Bryce goes up over the 40-yard line. Going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
I see number 50 in here, and again, we're going to have to watch
Jerry Lepotsky.
Jerry Lepotsky is in playing that right tackle position.
So the Big Red putting some people in and out of the game now a little bit. And we'll, again, try to keep you posted here as we have to remember all the numbers that we forgot from last year. Or that we never remembered from last year.
Well, the new ones, you're right. Looks like number 55, Dan Evans, is in playing the left defensive end position.
This time Rupert's going to look down the field, and he was just rushed. Leonovich and Brown and Matsura were all over him, and he turned too quickly and let the ball loose and was nowhere near the receiver. It'll bring up 4th and 7, and the Royals will be forced to kick. And the Royals are pretty much disconsolate right now, as you see the way they're at, the way they're running on and off the field.
And you see that's what the little bit of pressure from that defensive line does to you, because the receiver was open, and he did have 2 blockers in front of him, the pulling guard and the blocking fullback.
So back to kick now will be the Royals. We got one guy back, and that's Litkavage. Zapola kicks it. Litkavage picks it up down at the 25-yard line, brings it upfield. Nice return as he crosses over the 40-yard line, just about at the 40-yard line, in fact, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes, and a nice carry by Litkavage.
We have a flag here. Motion
Pius against them. If I were us, I'd just say no.
Yeah, we will.
And I believe we're going to say no, and we are. I see Coach Brennan going, no. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes on their own 41. I was right, it was the 41-yard line. He keeps moving the ball back and forth there. It's the 41-yard line, and that's where they'll take over as they lead in this football game in the 4th quarter with 9:29 remaining. Mount Carmel area 27, Pius at 10-7. And now it's just a matter of keeping the ball on the ground, chewing some time, and ending this thing and taking that long, and I say long ride. This is an overnight ride.
Yes, it is.
This is a hotel stay for guys like me. We pounded right up the middle.
Number 28, Nate Morgan in the slot position.
Pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 now, and that's the big guy, Brown, and he's just going to wear on you. Larry Zonka Jr. there. He's just going to pound on you.
He does, too. He has that size.
Oh, he looks just like him. I think he looks just like him when you put 39 on him. It's really amazing how he looks. Same kind of gait to him and everything when he's running, so. Shinsky will bring him up now.
Wargo and Morgan in the slot position on the right side.
He splits Lashinsky out, but he tosses it to Kovaleski, who cuts upfield. Kovaleski, nice run. So he brings it up over the 45-yard line, out to the 48-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. And I'm going to say 3rd and 3 altogether. So the Red Tornadoes continue to churn some yards. You see Kovaleski in the replay. Nice running,
yes,
knees high. That's what you like to do.
And you saw the speed there getting through the line. That's you need that initial burst of speed to get you through to get into the secondary.
So the Royals, I think, if you look back, at least so far this game, they missed Rath more than we thought. Really had no running game to speak of so far, and the game's nearly over. So that, I think, was a big difference in them from last year. He passes downfield, and he's got Buggy. And Buggy's going to head to the sideline. He's going to cut back, and nice play by Buggy as he comes back into game from that injury. He takes it down to the 16-yard line of the Royals, where it's 1st and 10.
Ooh, great play by Dave. Look at Dave. Fake the handoff to Lashinsky and right up over the top. Look at that. Buggy keeps his eye on the ball, turns around, and
nice run in here. Watch him now. I mean, here's a guy with a brace on his knee. Take a look. He could have just go out of bounds, but no, he turns back inside and really has a nice run on it. Yep. So nice play.
If you take a look, textbook running, he's switching the
ball back and forth. Yes, he did.
Keep it away from the defender.
He absolutely did. Yep. You're right. That was a nice run. So the Red Tornadoes in business now down at the Pius at 10-16. 1st down. Shinsky brings him up. And he'll go right in the middle now to Lashinsky, number 45. The big fullback. He'll pick up about a yard in the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Red Tornadoes less inclined to score as they are to run time off the clock.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's in a safe area right here that he can just, we can do whatever we want. We are going to run the ball. I see number 66 in there for the Tornadoes, John Novak.
Chicatano comes back into the game, replaces Kovaleski. He'll be that tailback position. He'll be the lone back in this setup with Lashinsky in that slot position from the fullback side of it. And we're going to pitch it out to Damien. He's going to try to get outside. He has to get side of Waltner, and he's not going to. Nice play, and that's why we said, without Waltner there, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
He would have scored a touchdown. Waltner really was the guy that blew that play up, and Waltner's everything we talked about. And he had some cramping problems earlier in the game, too, so he's back in the game and playing his usual great self. He's a kid to watch. 6:25 remaining here in the game now. As you see, time is ticking down for the Royals. Any chance to get back in this game has to happen very, very quickly for them. It's 3rd down now and 13. The ball sitting down around the 18-yard line of the Royals. Shinsky drops back quick, and he lofts it over there, and he's heading for Wargo. Oh, just out of Wargo's reach there as he's on the sideline of the end zone. It'll bring up 4th. Was that 4th down to 4?
No, that was
4. It'll bring up 4th. Nice play.
4th. That was a great play.
Wargo beat his man, to tell you the truth. If we see this, let me see if we can do the replay of this.
And I'll tell you what.
Because he streaked right down the sideline on him.
Nobody even picked him up until the very last minute.
You have to take our word for it on this one. But Shinsky comes in now to huddle on 4th down, and again, more crucially, 6:03 remaining here on the interception as the clock is stopped. And they'd be just as content to turn the ball over here if they have to. But he's going to pass one more time. Try one more time. Let's let Wargo do it again. Again, that was good coverage down there. by number 24. This time 24 was all over him, not 24. What is he? Oh, he is 24.
Yeah, 24.
He unfortunately is not on my roster, so I can't tell you who he is. But
you know,
nice play by him.
There were 2 throws by Dave Shinsky that were right
Beautiful
on
passes,
the money
yep.
each time.
Yeah, but I don't have number 24 listed here, so I couldn't tell you who he is, but it was a great defensive play to keep the ball out of Wargo's hands. The Red Tornadoes turn the ball over here to the Royals. We are inside of 6 minutes at 5:58 remaining. And Rupert will bring his crew up. Goes into an I backfield.
Number 75, John Aremic, is in playing that right tackle position.
Rupert's going to carry the ball, and he's not going to carry it very far, as he is knocked down now. We'll see who gets off. That's Buggy was the initial whack on him. I think it was Mansour that tried to kill him. I wasn't sure who that second hit was, but nice play by the Red Tornadoes, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9. It was a gain of about 1 on the play as we scrambled around. Waltner will bring the play in.
And again, you see, we are trying to get, and this is a crucial game for us, to get us back on track. And, it's the start of a great season here, and we're trying to get some new legs in.
Under a lot of pressure, and this time number 71 Adam. He shoveled the pass to Bryce, but 71 for the Red Tornado. That's Marshall Merarkey. Got a hold of his shoulder pad there and drug him down. He literally gave it to Bryce.
I don't know how he gave it to him.
Bryce just got up off the field limping, who's saying to him, don't do that again. If you got hit, you're going down. Just go down. Don't get me killed out there. No gain on the play. Or maybe, let's put a yard gain on it. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8, well, long 7-8. We'll call it away, but that's where it stands. And Bryce took a beating on the small little pass to him. So 4:34 now in the ball game as the time slowly ticks away for the Royals here at Bangor. Not their home field. They do have their own home field at Rosetto, but they chose to play this series here. And he had to throw it away, and the reason he threw that away was
Marshall Merarkey.
Marshall Merarkey was one of the reasons. 66, John Novak also had drifted away. They were in between him and the receiver, and that was the end of it. Now, Rupert looks like he's down. In fact, he is. I did not see who hit him.
I didn't see it either because he threw the ball. I didn't see anybody hit him.
Somebody popped him.
Yeah, Justin Lee Novich, number 41, was over in that area too. So it was a great.
Lost our replay there. Look at this.
It was a great.
How dare they put a sign like that up there? Get that. Oh. I'm shocked. I'm shocked by that sign. Oh, now they're using the word irony back in the bus back here. I'm getting concerned about this crew now. Now they're going to use big words on top of everything else. So Rupert is down, the quarterback. I didn't see what hit him. I really didn't see what happened to him at the end of the play, but somebody must have got to him because I thought it was a fairly clean, just thrown out of bounds kind of play. It's 4th down either way in 7. 4th down in a long 7. He's hurt. Definitely, I doubt we'll see him the rest of the game, to tell you the truth.
I'll tell you what, he took a pounding all night long. I mean, he hit the ground a couple times, and he got up and he was limping.
All right, the new quarterback is going to be...
Well, they're going to punt here.
Oh, they're punting. I won't know the new quarterback. All right, it's 4th down. That's right. So they're punting. So number 4 for the Royals, and that is Joe Zappola, will be kicking it. And he lets loose a good one. It's going to hit the ground. They're going to let it bounce as Wargo lets it go by him, and there was no reason to do anything. As it goes out of bounds at the Mount Carmel area 46-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. 4 minutes and 10 seconds now remaining in this football game. Mount Carmel area in total control, leading 27-7.
Yeah, on some plays, I'll tell you what, that really make you shake your head a little bit. Damian Chicatano coming up with an excellent... and I think that's what pretty much broke the back here a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was the turning point. Absolutely, they were driving.
Yep.
They were down near the goal line. I mean, it was still 20-7,
yep.
right? And 14-7
right.
at that point. It's still 14-7. They're moving for the go-ahead score, and he runs back a 98-yard return. And I'm saying 98 now. That may change because we had a very bad angle where that end zone is. Jose will know better where that was, and we'll know what it officially becomes. But it's 98 or 99 yards. Either way, it was fantastic. Number 10 in the ball game now at quarterback for the Red Tornadoes, and that's Mike Sosnowski. a junior, 5'11", 155-pound guy. We also see a whole bunch, and this is your game now, Bo. There's a million new faces in there
Number
now.
77, Scott Novak is in. Number 72, Joe Daukus. Number 34, Dave Sebastian is in the backfield.
Adam Croker at 51 is in there now. So bear with us here as Sosnowski runs the play back out to his crew. His coach Brennan has substituted his entire offensive group now. Who's the tailback back there now?
I didn't see a number.
Right, they're in a split. You got Lashinsky's still in there, I believe, at 45, yes. Right? But we also got, that's number 24 down there. That's Trey Savitsky. And we've heard so much about Savitsky. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 170-pounder, and we understand he's going to be a guy to watch as his career progresses.
Number 83, Sean Fracolosi is in at the tight end position. Number 59, Nick Chapman.
This brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Red Tornadoes as number 82 into the ball game, Brian Polifka. I believe he brought the play in for Sosnowski. And they'll line it up 251, 250 and counting here in the ball game. The Red Tornadoes are going to walk away with the victory here, one they desperately wanted to avenge from last year, and they have. As Sosnowski now hands it back to Savitsky. Savitsky takes it up to midfield. Gain of about 2 yards in the play. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes, and they'll go back to punt. Shinsky trots back in. He is the first and second guy punter, I guess, so he's going to do duty no matter what. Some of the starters back into the game to cover the punt.
Number 1, Dave Quintero's in.
Yes, he is. There he is, number 1. I always like a guy with number 1, you know. You always have to be a small guy to wear 1, because if you wear like 1, you're a guy like me, like you can't even find it.
It gets lost.
It's like a spot. It's like a stain. He lets it go. Bryce is down there, and Bryce is going to pick it up. Bryce eludes Savitsky, but he's not going to elude number 27, and that's great coverage by Tim Wargo. Savitsky actually slowed him up enough, and then Wargo took him the entire field laterally, but he finally roped him down there.
59, Nick Chapman was in on that time. I mean, there was everybody over there.
So the Royals will take over 1st and 10. The ball's going to be down, let's say their 15-yard line, it looks like. 1st and 10 from the 15, a minute 51 remaining here in the ball game. The Red Tornadoes up 27-7. And we'll see if they put a new quarterback in there, and I believe they do, and it's number 7 for the Royals, and that's going to be Steve. Let's see if it's not. That's not 7. He came back off the field. He walked out talking to Coach Scagliotti, came all the way out, and he sent him back. So let's see what they do here quarterback-wise.
Well, we got number 37 in, John Scheiko. He's a new guy. Number 28, Nate Morgan is in there. Dan Evans, number 55.
Class of 10th faithful now leaving their seats and getting ready. They thankfully only have to drive about 1.5 miles, leave about 700 miles to drive home. This is truly the longest ride we've taken in high school football, I'm telling you right now.
We thought Wyalusing was a long ride.
I almost wish for Wyalusing now.
Yes, you're right. Number 31 is in there, Kyle Bartle.
All right, number 4 is Joe Zappola. He's also the punter. He takes over the quarterbacking duties for the Royals as the quarterback Rupert was hurt in that last series. So Zappola at the helm, and he'll hand off very quickly and very quickly be stopped at the line of scrimmage for just about no gain on the play. It'll bring 2nd and 10 for the Royals. Daukus on the play.
John Novak, number 66, making the initial hit back there.
Yeah, you're right. It was 66, and then Daukus finished them off. So good line play by the second unit here for the Red Tornadoes. Time now just continuing to tick away. The Royals are not going to stop the clock. It is beyond their control at the moment as Zappola brings them up. We'll see if they want to pass with the new guy or see what happens.
57, Adam Hepler's in there.
They pitch it out to number 7. That's Steve Long, and he's in serious trouble. And that's number 77 on the hit, Big Scott Novak.
Nice hit.
That was a how do you do there. And that'll be maybe a gain of a couple there, but not a whole lot. So it's a loss. I'm sorry, he's going the other way. He lost 4 yards. 3rd and 14 now from the 11 for the Royals as big number 77 there threw a wrench into the play for the Royals.
Number 81, Josh Jaworski's in. He's playing the tight end position.
We have 83 in there. Sean Fracolosi, you mentioned him. He's over at that other end position there. Zappola brings him up. One guy in the backfield behind him, and he's going to look to pass as he rolls out. And he's looking downfield, and he throws in almost an interception. Nice play down there by number 34 for the Red Tornadoes, and that's Dave Sebastian on a nice play. He almost picked it off.
Yeah.
Clock stops on the interception. 24 seconds now remaining in the ball game.
Looks like number 76 is in there, Jason Boyer, in that tackle position.
So depending on what they do here, time for a couple more plays as the Red Tornadoes trot off the field. Zappola stays in. He's also the punter. He'll be punting on this 4th and 14. And deep down there for us, Wayne, is, let me turn a little bit and we'll see them. We've got number 1 down there, Quintero, and he's going to field it. He heads towards the middle and back out. A nice run by Quintero.
Yep, picked up an extra 10 yards.
The John Scheiko was the other guy back there with him, and he was kind of giving directions there. But Dave Quintero on a nice run off the punt, and the Red Tornadoes are back in business. 1st and 10. There are 13 seconds left, and they'll take over at the 37-yard line of the Royals. And here comes Sosnowski and his ever-changing crew.
It's
amazing how many people are in this game in the last minute and a half here.
Here you go. This is my neighbor, Josh Burcheski, number
All right.
80.
All right.
Or Rodney. Rodney's in there.
A quick handoff to him, and he'll take it down to the 35-yard line. Gain of a couple of yards, and that's going to be the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, as the clock ticks down. 2-1-0. There it is. The Red Tornadoes avenge their opening season home loss last year to the Royals by coming to Bangor and pounding them 27-7 and starting this new 2002 season out on the right track. As they are highly touted, highly regarded, but again, you can be highly into if you want, you still got to play the game, and this was a quality football team.
Yeah, this is. I tell you what, they did not give up. They gave us fits the whole game. We did stop the run, but I'll tell you what, that quarterback and the receiver, they were just running some odd plays. Yep. Defensively, you don't see that very, very much. The flea flicker play and so on and so forth, and especially in the first game.
Yeah, I mean the game is 27-7, but I'll tell you, it's a lot closer.
Yeah.
And we have a 98-yard interception return for a touchdown. We have that odd fumble pickup for the touchdown, which you don't see very often. Other than that, it's a 14-7 ball game.
Yeah.
And they just played very tough defensively. Defensively, I think we really bottled them up. There was no running game to speak of from the Royals, and their passing attack, except for 2 very long passes there in the first half, 1 for a touchdown, really wasn't threatening much. But it just was a kind of a cliffhanger game there for a while until we finally broke it open. So
yeah, it's a type of team that you cannot let in the game like that. You're playing good defense, and it's only one or two strange plays here that they score on and keep themselves in the game. And that's basically what they did. We didn't keep them in the game. They sort of kept themselves in the game on fluke plays. But I'll tell you what, hats off to the kids. This is totally a different team than what took the field last year.
Yep.
In the first game. They came out fired up. They came out to play. And, I'll tell you what, they look fairly sharp tonight.
Yeah, it's such a long bus ride. This is 2.5, 3 hours on a bus to get to this place. So, your opening game, you play in hostile territory against a quality team, and you come away with a 27-7 victory. Nobody got injured that I could tell.
Nope.
I mean, everybody seemed to be walking away from this thing in the same way they started. So all the good things happened, and we open the season with a win. Again, we make everybody believe that we are as good as we are, and that's what we want. We will be at home for our home opener next week, and of course on the new turf. We're all looking forward to the new turf, but we will entertain the Panthers of Panther Valley, one of our oldest foes. We'll be traveling down, and we'll entertain them. So we look for good things to happen down there. We look forward to seeing all you guys. And remember, Supper Club, ladies and gentlemen, do not miss your Supper Club. We are still there every Thursday night at 6:30. Get there about quarter after if you want a seat, because it gets tight sometimes. But get there about quarter after 6, back room of Matucci's. It's the best $5 you're ever going to spend. It's $5 dues if you want to order from the menu you can, or if you want the meal that we're having, which is always excellent. It's $7 for that, so you can't go wrong. If you're a relative, or a family member, please, you want to make it down for when we honor your son, and daughter. We have the cheerleader, the 4 captains and the 2 cheerleading captains.
Oh yeah, you missed the best. I mean, these boys here, worked themselves up in the captains, and the girls, the captains of the cheerleading squad, and I'll tell you what, it was a nice time.
Yeah, it really was. It's a great time out. So be sure you get there, folks. All that money we make is plowed back into the program. We try to help the football team, but we have an occasion help other sports that need it. We don't care. I mean, we're just trying to help athletics and the young students that are playing from Mount Carmel area. So if you get a chance, see us. It's Wednesday night tonight. You're watching this. We'll be there tomorrow night in preparation for the Panther Valley game. Ladies and gentlemen, it was great having you. Our first trip here to Bangor Park in Bangor, Pennsylvania.
It's great to be back.
It's great to be back. We all miss football. We're all counting the day from the last game. So we're back here for another exciting season. Hopefully it's a 15-game season, and hopefully it's going to end in Hershey. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire crew at WKMC TV, I am Warren Altamar.
And Wayne Brokenshire.
Good night.